my beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Home Chef. Home Chef is a weekly subscription service that brings fresh ingredients right to your doorstep with easy to follow recipes so you can make delicious meals right at home. With Home Chef, there's endless customization. You can swap proteins or upgrade to options like salmon or impossible meats. Home Chef is perfect for busy lifestyles with quick options including 15-minute meals, oven-ready meals, and fast and fresh. I love that there's tons of variety with over 20 different meals to choose from every week, including protein-packed, vegetarian, and calorie-conscious options. The recipes are super simple to follow with step-by-step instructions and photographs that clearly show you what you need to do, and they are designed to save you time and minimal cleanup. Home Chef is also a cost-effective alternative to eating out. You can make a simple and delicious recipe right at home. Also, users of leading meal kits agree Home Chef is #1 in taste. I also love that Home Chef provides a binder so you can save your recipes for future reference. And my favorite meal for this week was the pork chop piccata with roasted potatoes. So if you'd like to try Home Chef for yourself, you can click the link down below and use my code emmymade50 to receive 50% off your first Home Chef box along with free shipping. Big thanks to Home Chef for sponsoring this video and allowing me to make better videos for all of you. Alrighty, my lovelies, today I'm going to be doing my best to untrigger myself from some triggering videos. You've probably all seen these before, but these are videos that are made just to incite a reaction, a visceral reaction oftentimes, because they're cursed for different kinds of reasons, but usually they create a reaction and you can't help but watch. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's called rage bait, it's called trigger bait, clickbait, all these different kinds of things. But recently I came upon a series of videos that did trigger this kind of feeling for me. And today I'm going to attempt to reverse that, to provide an antidote to the triggering, an untriggering, if you will. Today's inspiration comes from creator It's Me Juliet, and we're going to do our best to provide an antidote to all this triggering. So let's go ahead and get started. I should also mention that I understand that most of these are a joke. They're a parody, they're not to be taken seriously, and they're not actual recipes. But that doesn't really help me kind of clear them from my mind. When I see a cookie, I always see this cursed image. And my point of doing this is hopefully to remove those images of annoyance from my psyche. It's also worth mentioning that some of this content is mixed in with content that is a real recipe or something that could be made, so it kind of blurs things. But the ones I'm going to be attempting today are clearly a joke, but let's attack them anyways. At any rate, I have in my hand a tube of Toll House chocolate chip cookie dough. This is quite expensive. This was $6.99 at the grocery store. I have not purchased this in quite a while, but that's a lot more than I remember it being. So just slice the tube of dough right down the side. And we are going to use this as a sculpting medium. And we're going to make a sculpture. And I am going to make a bear. There are a couple versions of these. I saw one that was shaped like a rat, which I thought was quite funny. But the teddy bear one, I think, was pretty great. There's also a snowman, which I felt was very appropriate for winter. But we're coming into spring now, so I'm gonna do my best to shape a bear. After I make this, I will show you what I believe will be the antidote. I'm doing it towards the camera, so it's a little difficult to see what I'm actually doing. Now we need a pair of ears. And a muzzle. I believe Juliet used some contrasting dough in hers to have a little bit more definition in the paws and in the feet. But I just have chocolate chip dough, so that's what I'm going to use. But I do have a pair of chocolate chips I'll use for eyes. See that? It's a little bit wonky. And then we'll use one for the nose. All right. Yeah, we're getting a bear here. All right. See my bear? That looks pretty good. So there's my quickly sculpted bear. Not bad. Hello, bear. And now what we're gonna do is place this in the oven and bake until it just melts into some cursed blob. Yep, that's it. We're just gonna have some derpy music, cue the derpy music, and place that in there. And then as the antidote, we're just going to properly bake some cookies. Take some balls, place them on a cookie sheet, and bake them for about 12 minutes until they're golden. And we're gonna eat them. Alrighty, Be right back after I put this in the oven. Sorry. Alrighty, lovelies, as our poor bear melts into a puddle of cookie dough, we are going to try yet another rage-inducing beverage this time. This time we're going to use frozen vegetables instead of ice. That looks good. As a way to get more vegetables into our diet. Cools down our beverage. Look at that. Cools down our beverage beautifully. Looks lovely. And we can eat the vegetables when we're done with our drink. Win-win, right? Cheers. Still tastes like Coke. I was wondering if the vegetables would impart any kind of flavor in the Coke. Nope. But I can feel the vegetables kind of getting soggy. Then, of course, we have to eat our vegetables. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Itadakimasu. Oh. Not good. Not even chased with Coke. I love Coke, but not with vegetables. So what happens here is the soda actually softens the vegetables so that they are somewhat frozen in the middle, but the outside is kind of soft. Definitely not good at all. What sadly happens is the Coke loses a lot of its fizz. I'm not sure if it's just the surface area of the vegetables that does that, but my Coke isn't very fizzy anymore. Very sad. But you knew it was going to be sad, right? That's why it's cursed. So let's cure this by having a Coke with some ice. Lovely. Cheers. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Yes. I feel better already. Let me show you the progress of our poor bear. Oh, poor thing's lost its head. All right. Alrighty, lovelies. Next, we're going to be making a cookie with sprinkles. But this time, the sprinkles are vertical. Let me show you. So, we've got a cookie I baked, made some frosting. This is just powdered sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and heavy cream. I'm gonna take this and frost our cookie. Ooh, yes. We want a nice generous layer because we want our sprinkles to stick. Little chocolate sprinkles. Now we're gonna take our sprinkles and arrange them vertically on our cookie, like a little hedgehog, because that's what you want to do on your cookie, right? You want them to be standing up at attention. So I'm going to continue this wonderful process of arranging my sprinkles vertically on my cookie. Alrighty, lovelies, here is the completed vertically arranged sprinkle action. What do you think? Look how they stand up. Beautiful, right? Okay, now we have to break it in half. Ooh. Alrighty, lovelies, let's cure ourselves of this abomination. We have another baked cookie. And more frosting. Now we've got our chocolate sprinkles and we shall sprinkle. Yes. Look at that. Ah. To our heart's content. Let's put a lot on. Get some chocolatey goodness. Then we shall break it. Lovely. All my sprinkles arranged randomly as gravity let them fall. Beautiful. Itadakimasu. There's a great cookie recipe, by the way. It's from Buttermilk by Sam. Actually adapted their recipe for peanut butter drops. Anyways, I use this recipe because it uses 3 egg yolks, and I had 3 egg yolks left over, and it makes a great base for, it's kind of like a sugar cookie, but richer. I like this cookie base because I can make a variety of cookies. I typically make a few plain, I make a couple with some chocolate chips, and then I make some rolled in cinnamon sugar for my youngest, who loves a snickerdoodle type cookie. Lovely. Now I want a cup of coffee. So for my last recipe, we're going to be making cookies again, but we're going to be making a healthy version using potatoes. Juliet says her sister requested cookies, but she said, let's make them healthy by using potatoes and black beans. I'm going to use my potato ricer to mash my potatoes. You could just use a potato masher too if you don't have a ricer. I think that's what Juliet actually uses. Oh, teddy bear cookie. Coming, darling. Oh, gorgeous. Look at our bear. I think it needs more time. The middle is still very raw. Maybe 1 more minute. Okay, let's finish up with our potato. Okay. It sure makes a lot of noise. To our mashed potatoes, we're going to add a little bit of cream because we want mashed potatoes, not just crushed tomatoes. Okay, there's our dough. Beautiful. Now we're going to add black beans. These are going to be our chocolate chips. Oh yeah. On camera, that looks a lot more like chocolate chips. In real life, it looks like mashed potatoes with black beans. But on camera, somehow you're like, oh yeah, that's chocolate chip cookie dough. All right, a little bit more cream to hold everything together. Oh yeah. Look how healthy that is. Let's check on Barry. Hello, friend. There it is. Hi, Bear. Alrighty, let's cook the regular cookies. Pop those in there for about 12 minutes. And now we're supposed to take an ice cream scooper and measure our little dough balls out. Cookie dough balls. And it looks just like cookies, don't they? Oh, that's like perfect. 1 medium-large potato makes 6 cookies. She gave specific baking instructions. We're supposed to put this in a 350-degree oven and bake for 10 minutes. So I will do that, and we will have cookies. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, lovelies, look what just came out of the oven. Our freshly baked teddy bear. All we can see that's recognizable of our teddy bear are the 3 buttons here. The head fell backwards, and I believe the eyes are underneath this, but there it is. Isn't it beautiful? Womp womp, poor little bear. So what I was most curious about when I saw this is what does the bear taste like, right? So the edge looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks great. Let's give it a taste. Teddy bear cookie. Itadakimasu. It's hard to beat a freshly baked cookie. Very sweet, milk chocolatey, crisp on the edge, soft texture in the middle, gooey and doughy on the interior here. Not very buttery, but exactly what I remember a Nestle Toll House cookie tasting like. Let's see if we can find its head. No, sadly, I think its head or face has been reabsorbed into everything. But this is edible and it will not go to waste. I will be sharing this with my children when I'm finished filming. So I think that's the thing that irritated me the most, was as if all this cookie dough would go to waste or something, but it won't. Alrighty, lovelies, let's get our potato cookies out. Sure enough, after the 10 minutes, these are not really browned up at all. No, a little bit on the sides, maybe. So definitely not cooked for 10 minutes. I think they need to cook longer. But they're mashed potatoes, so what's cooking after all? Ooh, healthy chocolate chip cookie. Ooh, looks just like a chocolate chip cookie, doesn't it? Let's give it a taste. Eat the lucky mouse. Tastes like a potato and not a very tasty potato. I love boiled potatoes. Whenever I make mashed potatoes, I always sneak a couple of potatoes because I love potatoes. But this has no seasoning. There's no salt. There's not much flavor. Tastes like potato, and there's an occasional black bean, definitely a black bean, and not a chocolate chip. Not sweet whatsoever. Oh, the black beans are a little bit salty, which is nice. Gives you some flavor. Some seasoning in the cookies. But of course, this is just a parody. It's just silly. But they're not terrible. They're just not cookies. Alrighty, lovelies. Let's remedy the situation by having ourselves a real chocolate chip cookie. Here we are. Yeah, those things. Those are actual chocolate chips. Eat the lucky mouse. Perfectly baked chocolate chip cookie. Alrighty, my lovelies, I hope that alleviated some rage. I know it did for me. Thanks so much for watching, and big thanks to Home Chef for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Home Chef for yourself, click the link down below and use my code emmymade50 to receive 50% off your first Home Chef box along with free shipping. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care. Bye! That was actually really, really fun. Super fun. And now I have tons and tons of chocolate chip cookie dough and cookies. That's a pretty good problem, I would say.